In a small, prosperous village, a wealthy man had two sons. The younger son was spirited and full of dreams, eager to explore the world beyond his father's estate. One day, he approached his father and made an unusual request. "Father, I want my share of the inheritance now," he said. "I want to go out and see what life has to offer." The father, though saddened by his son's impatience, agreed. With a heavy heart, he divided his wealth, giving his younger son a large sum of money. That very day, the young man packed his belongings and set off, his eyes filled with excitement for the freedom and adventures awaiting him. As he traveled, the young man reached a vibrant city filled with lights, music, and laughter. The people were lively, the feasts endless, and the opportunities for indulgence boundless. He made friends quickly, and they drank and feasted, spending without a care. Life seemed like an endless celebration. But as time passed, his money dwindled. The lavish lifestyle, the endless parties, the friends, everything faded as quickly as his fortune. Soon, he found himself penniless, with no one to turn to. His friends disappeared, and the city that had once welcomed him with open arms now seemed cold and indifferent. The young man wandered the streets, looking for work, but there was little to be found. Eventually, he accepted a job feeding pigs for a local farmer. He was hungry, dirty, and tired, and the food he gave the pigs began to look appealing. He felt the weight of his choices, realizing how far he had fallen. In that moment, he thought of his father and his home. "My father's servants have more than enough to eat," he whispered to himself, ashamed. "I'll go back, not as a son, but as a servant. I don't deserve to be his son anymore." With a humble heart, he began the long journey home, his steps heavy but filled with a small glimmer of hope. As he approached his father's estate, he saw a figure running toward him from afar. His father, who had been watching and waiting every day, recognized him immediately. Tears filled the father's eyes as he ran to embrace his son, holding him tightly. The son, overwhelmed by guilt, could barely speak. "Father, I've sinned against heaven and against you. I'm not worthy to be called your son," he said, his voice trembling. But the father's love was greater than his son's mistakes. He called to his servants, "Bring the best robe and put it on him. Put a ring on his finger and sandals on his feet. Prepare a feast, for my son was lost and is found." The household rejoiced, and a grand celebration began. The son, who had once been consumed by pride and ambition, was now humbled and restored by his father's unconditional love. His family embraced him, and the sound of laughter and joy filled the home once again.